Students in public schools attend class for 8 hours a day and often question the relevance of their education as they seemingly stare at the clocks. Over the past decades, much research has come out in order to motivate these students to want to learn. But unfortunately, we are still facing a motivational problem within our school systems. Many students are asking the question, why am I here? Hello, my name is Jacob Kirksey, and I'm the founder of Kids Dramatic. And this is my teammate, Deborah Thornton, who is the executive director of the Imagination Celebration, a nonprofit venture here in Colorado Springs. And we are so excited to tell you guys about a nonprofit entrepreneurial venture known as Kids Are Dramatic. And this is where we are headed today. Kids Are Dramatic was founded on a dual mission, one that serves not only the kids, but also the community, in order to ensure that we are constantly innovating, identifying the needs within our community. We make sure that we have connections, and that we know exactly how we are going to make theater relevant to everyone. Theater often comes with the stigma of being superfluous. That's why Kids Are Dramatic was founded on theory. Kids Are Dramatic is proposing the psychological construct of emotional cognition, one that associates our interdependence between emotion, the affective stimuli, and uses theater as a medium for cognition. In order for these two to work together, these students have to understand theater, and in order to express themselves emotionally, they come to a better understanding of their day-to-day lives in a classroom, at home, and everywhere else. Emotional cognition is more than just a theory. We have constantly been testing since year 2012 in order to create an article that we will publish in May 2013 in order to prove the validity of our program. Now, the operational strategy of Kids Are Dramatic, since it was founded in January 2012, has come up with 3 primary ways in which we specialize. We focus on professional development within our internship program. We don't just take volunteers. We make sure that all interns within the Kids Are Dramatic program understand the context, the environment in which these students need in order to develop emotionally. But we also use theatrical engagement to prove to these kids that this is a fun, after-school program and that they should be a part of it so that we get access to middle school, at-risk youth, which really needs the emotional development in the first place. With these 3 key areas of Kids Are Dramatic, we have a competitive advantage in one area that outmatches everyone else in the Colorado Springs community. Price. We are able to offer all of these benefits at a lower price. In fact, a third of our programs are free to these students, as we are a nonprofit. But you may be asking, how do we do that? Well, if we turn back to the operational strategy, we see that Kids Are Dramatic is not just focused on instruction, like most theater programs are. So they have to make more money in order to sustain themselves, but we focus on research for our curriculum, the new theories out there, and communicate that in the community in order to have these connections to prove to the contributors that we deserve their income. The contributed income and the cash flow is just one of the parts. We also have earned income from our program that will develop more and more later on. Now, outward right now, we are going to hopefully expect that with the allocated resource of $50,000, we can begin to pay interns after they graduate. So they have a foundation, and then they can get paid part-time for this. Now, for more information on financial forecasting, please reference the handout, and I encourage you to ask Deborah Thornton more about it, as she was my financial manager in this sort of sense, because she knows more about this than anyone else in the nonprofit community in terms of the arts. But here are the real numbers. Kids Are Dramatic will be able to serve with $50,000 over 1,000 students in our community, 1,000 students deep and emotionally. But without it, we will remain a small-scale project. We come to you not only because we believe we have an unprecedented idea, but also because these challenges must be overcome with more money, to have more access to contributed income through our 401c3 status, as well as the fact that we need recognition from the very college in which we were founded within, to signal to the community that they need to look at the needs of our students. Our data says we're onto something, as well as visiting Congressman Doug Lamborn, who visited us 2 weeks ago. But right now, we're still a project. Imagine a nonprofit entrepreneurial venture, Kids Are Dramatic, which stakes an arts intervention within the community where kids need it the most. Kids Are Dramatic is more than just an idea. It has proven to be a reality.
You think about the other different whether nationwide or in Colorado and Colorado Springs, I'm still trying to put together, how are you really different? What makes you truly different? What's the core difference between what you're doing and what other people are?
Right now, what we're doing is we are accessing at-risk youth. In order to access theater programs, you have to have money most of the time. And in order to have good, well-researched theater programs, you have to be able to pay staff for that. And there is no other nonprofit out there that uses real theater to evoke real emotion. In fact, at the conference I attended last week, they told me that what I was doing was wrong. Because middle school teachers shouldn't be accessing real emotion in students. But we say the opposite.
Daniel Pink has also produced a book called Drive. It's really addressing intrinsic motivation versus extrinsic motivation. And part of what this is doing is getting at that intrinsic motivation, and that it's connecting the kids' experience to real meaning that comes out of their own life experience. I have been working with the Kennedy Center for over 25 years. We're part of that national look at education intervention. And this is not like other programs that are existing in Colorado Springs. I don't know if there's something else in the country, but it is not the same approach that you'll see in other theater programs.
What partners could you be developing in this service? Conservatory or the...
I encourage you to look at the last few pages of the handout. Those are all our current partners. We also are beginning to start a new partnership with Atlas Prep. And the public school system is one of the best places to do this, simply because they have the structure, so it doesn't need any startup costs to start the programming there. But instead, we get the access to those students who really are spending just hours and hours a day sitting and not talking.
It's part of what I was impressed with, actually, is that he had already demonstrated the viability of the program. That's why we started working with him. Because he'd already been doing it before I began middle school. I saw the result, and then I've now seen him also in action, see the interns in action.
And you said $50,000 to reach 1,000 kids. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you intend to be sustainable?
Do you want to answer that question?
The budget assumptions in there are looking at how this theater program can grow earned income. You'll see some significant grant contributions, but I want to put that in perspective too. Big Thought in Dallas is the best education intervention in the country. 12% of their funding is earned income. The rest is because they've demonstrated the effectiveness of the program. And so there are agencies, federal and state, that are looking for ways that we're making a difference, especially for at-risk youth. We need to get them out of the pipeline to prison. And so one of the things that Judge Paradise here in Colorado Springs has said is that we're not intervening, we're intervening in high school, which is way too late. So it's designed, it really is designed not just as a drama program, but as an intervention.
So you would have to basically establish a development program that would be already in funds.
There are existing programs that are looking for something to fund right now in Colorado. So that would be a part of it. And that's, again, the Fine Arts Center with Venus School of Education. They earn about 36% of their income. The rest is contributed. Now, they've been in existence a while. This is assuming 37% earned income, and I think that that's really a modest projection. But I know that the grants are there. It's what I do a lot. So I know that the federal grants and the state grants are there to help. They're trying to find these kind of areas to make a difference.
And do you not partner with other children's arts endeavors within the community for fundraising as well?
Absolutely. Partnerships is one of the most viable parts of this program. That's how we have been able to be so sustainable.
Sounds like fun. When can we start?
Immediately.
We need more adults for this too.
I think we're all questioned out, so thank you.
Thank you very much.